Have you ever had the desire to learn a new skill, whether it's from a YouTube tutorial or even if it was from a course, and you go, "Oh man, I'm gonna have a great time. I'm so dedicated to wanting to learn this new thing," and then like 3 days later, you realize you haven't really done anything at all. So personally, I'm someone who's learned new skills over the past 3 years: editing, 3D modeling, 3D animation, also game dev, as you can see, since I'm just making my goofy little game here. And so how do I do it? Short answer is pretty much focus, but I'm gonna go and put some effort into explaining what focus is. Gonna go over a little bit of the dangers to watch out for when you're trying to learn a new skill. And I'm gonna go over one of the hardships, like the biggest hardships I went through, which resulted to me learning a new skill. So to start things off, focus is pretty much when motivation meets drive. Motivation being something that makes you want to learn the new skill, whether it's, oh, it'd be really cool if I can do this, or if you're really hyped about something you've seen and gain motivation from that, or you know what everybody uses as a big motivator for thing in life: money. Why do you want to go to college? Oh yeah, so I can earn money. Oh, why do you want this job? Oh yeah, money, that's why I want this job. Yeah, simple stuff like that. And then drive is the actual action between you learning a new thing. So pretty much, one, you have to have your action, which is the drive, and then you're going to have the motivation, which is the mental part of you wanting to learn the new skill. Now, I know what you're probably thinking: oh, Guchan, it's not that simple as you're explaining it. It's hard to fully get motivated to do something, and it's hard to like have the drive for it. Focus is tough, but like, let me explain why it's tough. And it's most likely because you are missing one of the aspects of that little equation, whether it be motivation or drive. Let's say if you're really motivated to learn a new skill, you go on YouTube, you see that tutorial of like trying to learn 3D modeling, kind of like something that I do. Motivated to try it out, and you open up Blender, and then you don't actually put any work on it. You see the UI for what it is, and you're like, yeah, you don't actually put in the action to work into the thing, and then your drive just depletes. Or you could be just watching a YouTube tutorial, consuming nothing but tutorials, but not actually putting in any work to make the thing. Kind of like how in school, you learn lessons, but you also have tests on top of it to make sure you put some action into the thing that you are learning. Without that action, you just have nothing new that is actually learned. Now, let's say if you do have the drive, but you don't actually have the motivation, which this happens a lot. Like someone who puts in the work into doing a new skill, like let's say it's editing, but from whatever reason they lack motivation. In my opinion, this might be like a revelation, but when you have the drive to do a thing, but you're no longer motivated to do it, you have burnout. Most of the time when people are burnt out of something, if it's like a video game or it's a job, they're burnt out because they actually don't enjoy what they're doing. They have the drive to do it, like, yeah, I need to do this because I need to have money for rent. But do I care about the thing that I'm doing? No, not much at all. So I have like no drive to get better at it or learn more about it. So pretty much the whole motivation part is gone. And then eventually burnout happens, and then yeah, a lot of mental distress. So you definitely need both. You need the motivation and you need the drive, because how are you going to learn something without actually caring about learning a thing? Well, some people want to make money. That's one that's one reason why I also get into like the hobbies that I do, because I get commissions off of it, and that's really nice. But that is motivation. Like, you getting money for doing a thing is a bit of motivation. But again, when that motivation runs dry, runs a little bit thin, yeah, that's when, uh-oh, here we go. We don't have any kind of motivation, and then we burn out. I'm going to give you guys a direct example of how this happened with me. So I have been working on 3D modeling, I think starting since about roughly 2 or 3 years, and I ran into an issue. And the issue was I was sucking at it. Like, I wasn't really getting very good at the pace that I wanted to, and I was lacking the motivation to continue. The desire was there, but because the motivation was going down, because I was running through a bunch of hardships with trying to learn Blender, getting my ass royally kicked, I started to slow down. My motivation went low. and I didn't want to continue. So I took a break off of it. But then something happened. I know this is gonna be like super weeby for people who don't really care about VTubers, but there was a VTuber that I genuinely cared about, and I really liked their design. And in their debut, they said, "Oh, I would like to have a 3D model so that I can, like, you know, do concerts or whatever." I saw that and went, "Fuck that, I'm making that model. I have a week to get really ahead of this and get this thing done." I know this is cringe weeby thing, but I wanted to be the guy who made the first model of this character. Whether it wasn't that it's not like a commission or anything, but I was like, I want to have this done. I pushed through all of the issues of like the fucked up model I was trying to have, like how I didn't even know what a normal was. Like look at this old model here, fucking toes and everything. I don't I don't know what the fuck was going on here, but I pushed through all past that, and then here we go. The model right there, the model that I worked hard to push through all of the issues that I went over, figured it out, all because I was highly motivated and I kept the drive and I kept pushing. Had I not seen that debut of this VTuber character, I definitely probably would have quit and never got to where I am with Blender to this day. So it's very, very important that you have both desire and drive and motivation. It's damn near impossible to learn a new skill without having both of those things.